This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.
We are back here with the Otago Institute, the OI podcast, brought to you by the Otago branch of the Royal Society for Arts and Sciences. No mai haere mai, and I'm Dr. Barb, your friendly host. Today's show, episode 138, Tangata o le Moana, People of the Pacific Ocean with Leota, Meredith, the Pasifika Engagement Manager from Tūhura Otago Museum. Welcome to the studio.
Oh, talofa and malo elele. Lea Whakatonga Language Week comes starting this Sunday.
Oh.
So warm Pacific greetings, everyone.
Warm Pacific greetings, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us here on the OI podcast.
Thank you for the invitation.
And it is fabulous. In fact, my husband and I, we've just got back from Pacific Island. We went to the Cook Islands. We're on Rarotonga.
Ooh.
So we're all up with the Kiorana.
That's a lovely one.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Well, kia orana, me taki mata. What's the other cool words? Those two. Hello and thank you. Those are probably the two most common.
Obviously, yeah, honestly, really, and we absolutely loved it. It was fabulous. It was fabulous just to get some, and so close, close, and fabulous. It was so wonderful there. Everyone was so friendly. Everything was just wonderful. We had an amazing tour. Now, a shout out to our tour. Oh, I'm going to forget. It was with Jacob and Kura and what is their name of their business? I think it was Arika Moana, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it was absolutely fabulous. And we had a walk around and we went round all of Kura's. She's from Rarotonga and her family's all there. So we walked around sort of all through her village and through the back of her village, and she showed us her uncle's got a little plantation, her grandfather's got a plantation, and they just had all these amazing tropical fruits, and we're a bunch of botanists, so we just were having an absolutely wonderful time. And they took us up into a little bit of the bush there and then came back, and we had, a whole morning of absolutely fabulous time wandering around Rarotonga. So it was absolutely on. And chickens everywhere.
I love Rarotonga and going out to the Cook Islands. And like you say, it's a beautiful experience, beautiful people.
Yeah.
And just...
And that, the colour of the water was just absolutely amazing.
This clear water that you walk into and you can still see your feet.
And just so warm. It's beautiful. Yeah, really nice.
Best time to swim is when, of course, the water's warm and it's raining.
I hadn't actually thought of that. Yeah, when it's raining. Wonderful, yeah. And there's with the reef around it, there's this really cool kind of low tide, high tide thing.
Yes.
And it was my first experience of a reef.
Oh.
Like being on an island with a reef, and there's that kind of like you're in the ocean, but it's not really the ocean. The ocean's over there behind the reef. It's quite an interesting experience for me.
Oh, yes, and even having a lagoon, and or a natural spring water, and you sort of step out, walk a few paces forward, and and there's the ocean.
Yeah, and it really brought home to me how much life revolved around the sea.
Yes.
And the land was kind of important, yes, and obviously there's an island there, but it's such it's not small, but it's such a small piece of land with such a vast ocean. And, when we talk about, Pacific Islanders being, the navigators of the world across oceans.
Yes.
And then you see these islands that are so small in comparison to the ocean around them. And even the ones, in the Cook Islands group, there's quite a lot of little islands, but they are far apart. And you sort of see that, people lived on the ocean. And the islands were just kind of stepping stones in them. And it really makes you, that whole navigation part As you know, that was the way of life. You know, more familiar with swimming, and you know, I can imagine more familiar with swimming and you know working with the waka than walking.
Absolutely, and you know what? It befalls me, but the landmass of the Pacific. You know, we call it the Pacific Islands or the Pacific. Most of us are actually trying to educate people to call it the Pacific Nations or the Motu, simply because, of course, the word island and Hawaii and the whole sort of commercialized, Moana. Anyway, the landmass in itself is, if not, I'm told, as big as, if not combined, if not bigger than Europe. And of course, in the Pacific, we speak the most languages in the world. And
it's such a huge area.
Yes,
and I really love those maps where you kind of have the whole globe turned round, so you have the Pacific Ocean in the middle of the map, and you really see the expanse of the Pacific.
Yes.
And you really see, you know, the number of islands that are spread around.
That's right.
And yes, they're in little clusters, I guess, in various places, but just the diversity across the islands is quite amazing as well.
That's right.
And I think that
environmental diversity, things that are maybe found in Rarotonga are not necessarily found in other parts, like, for example, Puka Puka, and just even down to the language and dialect of Puka Puka is different from Rarotonga. But yes.
Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, it's not just, it's everything, right? And it's the diversity of the people also amazes me. And I think that's something I really got. I was in the Tangata Moana gallery the other day in Tūhura, Otago Museum, because of course you've got this new refresh, and it's not really a refresh. It's a brand new gallery. It's in the same kind of physical space. And I guess some of the items on display, the toka, are from the previous display, but it just looks completely different.
No, that's not.
There's nothing that was there before.
No.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the significance of this gallery.
Yeah.
Our new Tangata Moana gallery. So big ups or massive acknowledgement to our Tangata Pasifika of Dunedin, our Pacific communities. Okay, not community peoples, communities. Because they made a commitment to help Tūhura to refresh, rebirth the gallery, our Tangata Moana gallery, by coming in with their expertise, coming in with their knowledge, and willingly sharing it, and with the understanding that it will be a meaningful engagement, that we will be, that this gallery will give back or assist in the manner of which it was meant to be, but with purpose. So what I mean by that is the process in which we went through this was, of course, inviting and seeking guidance from our Pasifika communities of Dunedin. They came through, and it's been since the 1960s, actually. 1960s was when it was built. 1960 was when, around the 1960s, was how till now is how it stayed. And our communities came in and they viewed our collection, which again hadn't been viewed openly in a very long time.
So they actually got to see all of the items that were there in the Otago Museum, all those ones that may be in storage in various places, behind the scenes.
That's
and look
right.
at everything and then say, okay, these are the things that we really think speak to us as a community for this for this part and then this part. And I guess are all of those communities, because what amazed me was the sheer number of, I mean, I'm just going to talk to the display a little bit
right.
for those who may not have been along it. So I really love how it's set out. It's set out kind of in different cases as it goes round. So at the start, there's one big amazing map that has all the Pasifika islands on it.
Yeah.
And it really is, it's fantastic because then you get a really big idea right from the start of the spread and the diversity and where everything is, where our place is amongst those islands.
Yes.
And then as you go round, each display case takes a kind of group of islands going round, or a culture or a people, and has a collection that brings together to speak to that community. So various bits of tauka, which you will speak to there, but also bits of the language, a map of a close-in of where they are.
That's part of the whole learning, Barbara.
Yeah, and I just really loved that aspect, actually.
Initially the gallery had been categorized. Weapons, what is it? Weapons, pedals, in that type of museum, once upon a time museum categorizing and
category.
That,
and this is a much
category. But remembering that our engagement with our Pasifika communities, again, given their knowledge, given their expertise, and some might think, it's just the cultural bit. Come on. We've got academics out there who are also Pasifika. And so together they came through, they viewed the objects or the tauka that we hold, and Tūhura actually holds the 4th largest Pasifika collection in Aotearoa.
Wow.
Yes, and so even that buzzed me out too, and I was like, really?
Yeah, and there's some absolutely amazing items in there.
And so the pieces they selected is really interesting because that's where it is an example of cultural lens. What, you and I may see and think, that's really pretty and gorgeous to us, has no real deep significance or cultural significance to the people themselves, right? So, of course, the cases are designed, have been designed per Pasifika nation.
Right.
And I use the word nation because, of course, many have fought for their independence. And if they may not have full independence, they do have the, what's the other one that we have in terms of places like Niue and Tokelau?
Oh, yeah, self-governance.
Self-governance. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think it really comes across like that, and it was really quite striking the way it was set out in those cases with the peoples. That was the first and the lasting impression that I took away. But it was amazingly informative as well, and
the context,
the context that it's in, and I just like there was bits that were carried through. So each case had a flag and also a greeting, which I really liked, and the map that goes with it, so you can put place and people together, and I really liked that. But then the items that were in it, as you're saying, they, were specific to that.
They were chosen by the communities themselves, who were able to provide a deeper cultural context to it, as well as an academic context. For example, in the previous gallery and other galleries out there, they may have a mat, and when you look into the database, the mat says it comes from Samoa, but not in museum database knowledge. You need to say, where in Samoa? Who particularly gave it to you in Samoa? What was the backstory, you know?
So all that provenance is really amazing, where that, all that story behind who gave it, how did the museum come together. What I didn't know is Rapa Nui, the Easter Island. Oh my goodness. Now what are they called? Moai. Oh, unbelievable.
One of the few we're told that have come off
the island
of Rapa Nui.
And I was amazed that there was any that had come off, because I always think of them as, ginormous.
Statues.
And this one, I mean, it's big in the case, but it's not what you see on, National Geographic things. But it is really amazing. And it was gifted to Reverend someone.
Yes, and it came through Tahiti. So it's said to come from Rapa Nui, but it journeyed through Tahiti, and so of course the story in itself, it adds to the story. But in particular, how many hands it had passed through. It's one of the stories that are still to be uncovered, and there are those out there in our museum who are very au fait with this part of its journey. But the part that I play is that is going back to Rapa Nui, to the peoples of Rapa Nui, and say, hey, we've got this. Are you able to help us with this part? We have archaeologists here at Tūhura who are also able to take some of the rock samples.
Oh, from around, from actually on the artifact.
From the actual artifact, object, tauka, to see as to where in Rapa Nui it could perhaps come from. And again, adding to that database of information that currently we may not have.
Yeah, no, it's really fabulous. So just quickly, what is if you had to pick one piece, what would be your piece that just sings to your heart?
What is one piece? Oh, that's a hard one. I think one of the pieces that stands out for me would be the waka in the Tuvalu case, simply because it is, people talk about navigation, Pacific navigation, and the limitations of our navigation is only through the Pacific, the greatest ocean, and that's about it. But of course, science in itself, Western science, says that we've travelled even further. And there's a lot of mentality that we jumped into a canoe and paddled our way through the ocean. If you're not aware, it may be hard for some people to fathom, but we did build ships, and our type of ships, or alia. So that's one of the names that we call it, very similar around the Pasifika, alia, and it's a massive double hull, ship. I'm not too sure as to, big sailing vessel that's equipped for the ocean.
Big seagoing
ferry. And the reason why I like this waka is because one of my Tuvalu Tokelau brothers, he kept saying to the institution, to Tūhura, the sail is not correct. It's upside,
Oh, it's upside down.
It was incorrectly put together. And so
maybe not upside down, folks.
And so And once he shared that information with me, we had our first mission.
Make the sail go right.
And so he came in and assisted the museum, Tūhura, to actually put it together, what's the word?
Rejig it.
And also give context as to how parts of the waka itself would have been sailed.
Yeah.
Yes, and...
I mean, it's fantastic to hear all the additional knowledge and learning and engagement that's happening around here in Dunedin, you know, around the gallery. And I guess, I mean, this brings back, folks, to what I was saying before about Polyfest and how important that is to our community and how important it is for us to really, as a society, as a whole Dunedin community, to get behind it. And I think that's really the great thing about Polyfest is that feel of community that's with it.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, in places like Auckland, where Polyfest is the biggest festival in the world before Pasifika.
But I think I'm always amazed at, I was saying before, there's 9,000 students and performers that are in the Dunedin Polyfest, and then another 1,500 tutors, teachers, parents that are there. And that's not even counting the audience. It's really a huge thing, and it's for everyone. Like, I know it's
not just for Pacific peoples.
Yeah, and it's an amazing chance. I know a lot of people who just go year after year.
And one of the things that I appreciate is the fact that the Pasifika communities, why? One of the reasonings that I can see as to why is actually celebrating that Pacific communities here in Dunedin didn't come yesterday. They've been here for a very long time. And if we were to, I was speaking to one of my colleagues who's doing archival work at the moment, and she's digging through these archival minutes and information for Māori as well. And she's seeing how Pacific communities have been very much part of, be it the work of the university and the community wide of Dunedin.
Yeah, no, and it's really great to have that. It's great to have the gallery, and I really recommend to everyone just to go along there and have a look at the new gallery layout, and of course all those amazing toka that are there inside that gallery. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for coming along, Leota.
Thank you for having me. And look, I too support Polyfest here in Dunedin. Tūhura is definitely looking to being there again, and come see us and enjoy the gifts of Dunedin, because this is special for Dunedin in the sense that there are many other galleries out there, but here in Dunedin, with the 4th largest collection, we've got the people, we've got the treasures, and now we have you.
Thank you very much. You've been listening to the OI podcast with Dr. Barb in conversation with Leota Meredith from Tūhura, the Otago Museum. If you've particularly enjoyed this episode, delve back into our back catalogue. Enjoy episode 106, Indigenising Archaeology with Rachel Wesley, 101, What Makes a Good Exhibition with Craig Scott, and 130, The Art of Boro with Pip Steele. Don't forget that fabulous talk on the 20th of August, 6:30, the doors open with Nick Rawlins, and talking about de-extinction and SciComm and a whole bunch of other wonderful stuff. And there will be nibbles and a cash bar.
You've been listening to the OI podcast, the shout out for the arts, sciences and mataranga Māori.
You can support this podcast by becoming a member of the OI. Check out the Otago Institute for Arts and Sciences on Facebook or our website.
If you'd like to listen again to this episode or others from the series, look for the OI podcast on OAR FM's website, oar.org.nz.
Brought to you by the Otago Institute for Arts and Sciences, the Otago branch of the Royal Society of New Zealand.
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.